Here we go. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, ladies. We're back. Monday night here. I think it is March the 8th. Let's go. What is our Cuomo count at? 5. Yes, we are at 5 total allegations against Mr. Cuomo. Jesus Christ. Alright, we were at 3 the other day. Now we're at 5. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th. This fucking guy. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. I love it how they're just... The media is just... Oh, well, doesn't worry. It doesn't matter if he killed 1,600 people died on his watch. But boy, fucking there's some sexual harassment claims. Well, now we better get rid of the guy. What is wrong with people? Yeah, apparently there was 3 women, 1, 2, 3, that had come out that were his aides. No, they didn't have AIDS. They were his aides with an E. They were saying he was a little touchy-feely and a little creepy with what he said. He was like, I was just joking. Like, oh, eat the whole sausage. Like, what the fuck, dude? Now there's apparently 2 more. I know one of them said that, well, she worked with him a long time ago and she just wants to, show that it's not just something he did, that there's a pattern there. So, I don't know what the actual 5th one said. I haven't found all that out yet because it's kind of hard to find. Imagine that. And CNN.com doesn't have shit about it. Imagine that. But anyways, let's get to this COVID relief bill. Like I said in my previous videos, the COVID bill that passed the House the other day, and now it was amended to remove the $15 an hour minimum wage because it would not pass because 7 people voted against it. Joe Manchin voted against it because he's from West Virginia, and if you make $15 an hour, you are what's considered rich. So that was way over what he would ever need. And then if you guys didn't see the video, Kristen Sinema, she was all like, looked like she, like as Brandon Tatum said, it looked like she walked in after a night of drinking and she left old Ray's house and she walked in with all looking all fly, like from the day before, smelling like yesterday. She was all like, almost down, motherfuckers. She did a little bow, a little curtsy on it. Was like, kiss my ass. Now the Democrats are mad at her. But there was 7 total Democrats that voted against it, the $15 minimum wage. So they had to remove that, otherwise the bill was DOA. Like I said before, 9% of the COVID bill actually goes to COVID. Here we go again with the printer thing coming up on my face. Let me get this out of the way. Thank you. Get out of my face. Anyways, what all was in this bill, you say? Well, let me tell you. There's a shitload of stuff in there. We're going to get the $1,400 payment. It's supposed to be $2,000. There's a lot of people on Twitter. A lot of liberals on Twitter that are pissed off that we're supposed to immediately get a $2,000 payment. That's fucked. We got our $600. But only cost $300 billion to put out those $2,000 payments. So what's the rest of the shit in the $1.9 trillion bill? There's a fuckload of stuff. Well, there's a couple things that piss me off. $20 million towards native language studies. What does that have to do with the fucking pandemic? Besides nothing. Has nothing to do with the pandemic. Then they have $300 for the arts and humanities. Again, nothing to do with the pandemic. But, people are like, well, why did it pass? Why was it a 50-50 vote? I thought it had to be 60% of the House or the Senate that voted for it. The Senate passed it. 50-49. So we're stuck with this thing. It's got to go back to the House now for approval because they amended it and took the $15 minimum wage out. It's going to pass. There's so much what they call pork barrel spending in this bill. It's just put it on your kids and your grandkids and your great-grandkids in the future. What are we at now? $10 trillion because of coronavirus that we've given out. And we've only got, the American citizens are, that make under $75K, which, if you make over $75K and you don't have any money saved, sorry. I don't feel for you that much. But this passed through budget reconciliation. That's how it was able to pass on a slim, a simple majority. But then I also got some news of this Biden tax plan proposal. Here comes the good old Democrat tax increases. Because they're saying, oh, it's just Trump's cronies in Wall Street that are getting the corporate tax rate lowered. You know what? I pay less in taxes, and I'm not on Wall Street, and But anyways, the Biden tax plan wants to raise taxes by $4.2 trillion a year. Okay. That's a lot of money. That's, would cover maybe half of this coronavirus stimulus. Not even half, but close. The new rates would be 45% capital, or 45% corporate tax rate. Which, they'll pass on to the consumer, because that's what corporations do. They don't just go, oh, we're going to pay more. No, the price of their shit goes up. So it's going to be passed on to us. Just like a $15 minimum wage would be. Just be passed on to the consumer. Like, oh, well, McDonald's employees will make $15 an hour. Yeah, but also the people that are producing everything that goes to McDonald's. The French fries, the burgers, the to-go containers. Everybody there has to make $15 an hour. So the price of that product's going to go up. So the price of a burger is going to be what, $6-7? So it's going to be passed on to us, the consumer. It's not just, oh, everybody's going to be making $15 an hour. It's going to be great. It's a fucking disaster plan. That's why it'll never be a good idea. But anyways, then they're like, oh, well, yeah, we're going to put a capital gains tax of 42%. Like, only rich people pay capital gains tax. I pay capital gains tax. If you own a stock, you pay a capital gains tax if they make money. And if you make good stock decisions, sometimes I don't know if I really do or not, but I have to pay capital gains tax, and I'm not fucking rich. And y'all know that shit. I live in an apartment. I mean, for fuck's sake. Anyways, let me go on to something different here. Let's go talk about immigration and the border. What do we have here? So I saw an interview today with Lindsey Graham. I'm no huge fan of Lindsey Graham. This fucking guy, he said he thinks this year with Biden that we'll see about 1 million people come through our southern border in 2021. I don't think it's that high, but I'm tired of hearing this 13 million, 15, 11 million, or $13 million number of how many illegal immigrants, or what do they say, undocumented migrants, like they're a fucking goose, they're a migratory bird or some shit that just comes for the season. It's not what it is. They're not a fucking goose flying, a Canadian goose coming from Canada for the fucking winter. I mean, shit. But it's funny that how liberals think it's silly to have a fence at the southern border. It's just silly and it doesn't do anything. But yet it's okay for Washington, D.C. to be surrounded by a fucking fence when it's protecting you or your house, Mr. Politician. It's okay. It's silly when it's protecting Americans at the southern border. So, it's a fucking nightmare. And then also, I was just watching before this with Lisa that Joe Biden hasn't done a press conference yet. We're, 40, 50 days in? We're halfway to his first 100 days. And what has he done? Added spending. And the Republicans aren't any better. I'm not saying Republicans were like, oh yeah, we got to stop adding all this money to the debt. They're all fucking assholes when it comes to that. But Biden did a thing for International Women's Day that I saw earlier. And they're making these 2 women 4-star generals. Well, they're only the second and the third. Because Trump was so evil. Why didn't he do it during the Obama administration if that was such a big thing then? And, Trump didn't do this and that. 4 years ago, Joe Biden was in the White House. I mean, he was the fucking vice president. Why didn't they do it then if it was such a great idea and if Trump was such a bad guy? Whatever. This dude sat here and Biden fumbled over his speech. You could tell he's like glued to the fucking teleprompter like, I like pizza. It is good. And I think women are great. And I shit my pants. Oh, wait, no, and on there. They even had a guy come up after Kamala spoke. I didn't watch what she did. I fast-forwarded through it. And the guy comes in, sanitizes the fucking podium and sprays it down, then switches her little book out. She read something for, fucking 20 seconds. And then switches out what he's going to say. He never looked fucking down at one time. He's just, glued to the fucking teleprompter. And then I like to say 4-star general so-and-so is a great woman. And she has, Woman's Day. She like Sally Ride when she was 16. What is this shit? And then he started talking about how we need to have more women in the military and as generals and all this shit. Like, it's not that they're not allowed to. They weren't allowed to be fighter pilots for a reason. But now they're allowed to be. And he even said some shit like, he was like, yeah, and now they're allowing women to be fighter pilots. And they're even making flight suits, maternity flight suits. Why do we need a maternity-sized flight suit for fighter pilots? Seriously? She's pregnant, she's just flying at fucking Mach whatever, and fucking the fetus is like sloshing around there. He's like fucking coming out the side of her fucking back where her kidney's supposed to be and like just get stuck there. Yeah, that's fucking good for a fetus. Or is that fucking... No, I'm not even going to say what I'm going to say. Anyways, man, watch these videos. Watch these people. This shit's ridiculous. Watch this HR 1 that got passed through the House. It's your voting rights. They're trying to say, oh, in these states, the Republicans are trying to suppress our votes. No, motherfuckers. You're trying to just pound us into submission so we can't ever vote for who we want. You know, who we won't ever win another election again. But anyways, I'm at like 11 minutes. I'm going to stop making long videos. But subscribe, like, comment, please. Tell me if you hate it. Tell me if you like it. But, you know, I'm not going anywhere. See ya, Mr. Ranty Pants.